Greetings, leaders and friends of the 100 Million Soul Movement. It's my privilege to come to you here at the end of August, kind of share with you on what's happened in the movement this month. Before I do that, I want to start out. There's just been a wonderful, really a prophetic exhortation at the church I'm a part of, Glory of Zion here in Dallas, concerning Proverbs 29:18. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. And really giving insight the devil is trying so hard to squeeze the hope out of us. And again, hope deferred makes our heart sick. So it's essential that we keep our hope alive. You know, John 5, the story of Jesus with the lame man at the pool of Bethesda, when Jesus asked him the question, "Do you want to get well?" The lame man said this, "I have no one to put me in the pool." That is hope deferred. Nothing within that man was responding to the message of hope. And that is the dangers that we can get to. So much discouragement and disappointment going on around the world. We must be careful not to slip beyond over the line to get into hope deferred. Zechariah says, be an ambassador of hope. So for the next few minutes, let me be an ambassador of hope and sharing with you some of the things that have taken place in the 100 Million Soul Movement in August. I love what Dr. Yusuf, our national leader of Pakistan, this month made a declaration, harvest time. And I really sense a really shift in the spirit as we're seeing God really start to gather in the harvest, especially as we move into this fall season. One of the highlights this month is the multiple churches, new churches that have been planted. 3 more in Pakistan. Dr. Yusuf has planted almost 800 churches through his ministry. We saw this past weekend the new church planted in the Dominican Republic of Congo with Pastor Gene. The new church in Uganda that Pastor Moses planted about a month ago. That's a great story that we're following. We highlighted Pastor Dewey in Vietnam. He's planted 5 city gate churches throughout Vietnam. And the latest one just recently, I think they met for the very first time, was in Hanoi, which is the capital of Vietnam. Very, very significant. Church planting in Kenya. And again, throughout the movement, Pastor Charles met with the 73 new churches that have been planted over the last year. He met with those leaders for 5 days last week to really encourage them and hear their heart and evaluate how those churches are going. And again, I love what Dr. Peter Wagner said. The greatest tool of evangelism is the planting of the local church. Thank God for what happened in Australia this month. Pastor Tim gathered a core of believers that met in the very heart of Australia for prayer, worship, and decrees and declarations for a shifting, and that's what they sense, for a shifting in the country of Australia. We thank God for our partnership with Youth Vision International that Pastor Isaiah has been very instrumental in. The beginning of the year, Brother Dave Rogers, the leader of that, was in Rwanda meeting with leaders, and Isaiah, again, been very instrumental. There's 350 Bible clubs alone in Rwanda through Youth Vision International, and Isaiah this month has been able to really partner and link the leaders of Youth Vision International with our national leaders. So we thank God for that. We thank God for, at the beginning of the month, our partnership with a ministry in the Middle East that brought together 100 millennial leaders for 5 days of training, and then they were sent back to their nations throughout the Middle East to really an evangelism at great cost and great risk. So we're praying for those 100 leaders that have recently been through that training. We thank God for the conferences that just finished up this past weekend. The one in Rwanda with Pama, our Western leader, Dr. Johnny. The one in Ghana with our national leader there, and then in South Sudan with Pastor Charles. Wonderful reports from those conferences this past weekend. Great move of God in Nepal this past week. our national leaders there went to the mountain region to minister to the people, and the presence of God was so strong, they extended their meetings because of all that God was doing. We want to pray for our evangelist, Chile, who's just starting a tent meeting, 6-day tent meeting in South Africa. Great evangelist leader. He's such a heart for souls. So we're praying for him this week and the tent meeting. And finally, always a highlight for me is raising up the national leaders, because that's the mission, raising up a national leader in each nation, helping them build a team to disciple their nation. That's our mission. We're so thankful for Luciano and his wife Ella, who have stepped into the role as the national leaders of Madagascar. Whew, I'm out of breath. Thank God for what he's doing. Thank God for what's in front of us. Thank you for your love and support. Continue to pray for these national leaders who are on the very front lines doing amazing work for God's kingdom.